Hey there, crafters and stashers. Welcome to the third special episode of the Craft Stash podcast. I'm your host, Kim. Yay for Wednesday, yay for hump day. Oh my gosh, this week is not necessarily dragging, but it's not going anywhere fast enough for my liking. So welcome to new viewers, welcome to returning viewers, and welcome to everyone who's as excited as I am about the third annual Knit and Crochet. I keep messing this up. The third annual Knit and Crochet blog week. I've challenged myself to podcast every single day this week as part of this annual challenge, and today's topic is knitting or crochet heroes. So I'm going to be talking about two smaller creators, I'll call them, smaller makers, very, very indie, just regular people, as I like to say. Not to say that our favorite designers aren't regular people, but two people that whose work I really, really love and that I wanted to share with you guys. So the first person is Weekend Knitter. She is a blogger and a Ravelry person and a spinner and a knitter. I don't know if she crochets, but I really admire Weekend Knitter's work. Her name is Stacy, if you guys want to find her on Ravelry. I really admire her work because she's a new spinner. She started spinning fiber last October, I believe, in 2011. And to look at her work, you would think that she's been spinning all of her life. She has a really, really wonderful understanding of fiber, of color, and I've been following her Tumblr blog for a very long time, and every single thing that I see that I'm like, oh my god, that is the most beautiful skein of hand spun fiber that I've seen in a long time. They're all hers. Tumblr is largely about reposting people's pictures, but every single one of her items, I always kind of gasp as I'm looking at them. So I just wanted to share some of my favorite pieces of her work with you guys, and highly encourage you to visit her blogs and her Etsy shop. So I don't know if this is going to be embarrassing or if I should have kind of like asked her if it's okay for me to do this. Maybe I should have gotten in touch with her. So how about I do this? If you're on Ravelry, I highly encourage you to stop by her projects page. If you're not on Ravelry, I highly encourage you guys to go to her blogs, which I'll post in the show notes. I did want to tell you guys about some of her projects that I really, really like. She has this lovely hand spun, and I should also mention that the majority of her work is spindle spun. I think she just got a new spindle over the holiday season, so she's been spinning via spindle since last fall, and she's been spinning via wheel since last winter. And she's like, everything just looks really, really good. And I think another reason that I really enjoy her work is that she's really real about how long it takes her to spindle things by hand. Sometimes when you're looking at spinners' work and you don't know if it's done with a wheel or with a drop spindle, you can almost kind of think that things were spun within a week or 2 weeks, but she kind of lets you know that, no, I've been working on this for like 6 months. So that's very encouraging to see that kind of thing. But yes, in terms of the fiber porn, I just wanted to kind of point you guys to a couple of my favorite pieces of her work. She's got this lovely, it's like a fun green and gold and seafoam colored hand spun that she's calling Goldfish Pond. She mentions that it was her first fractal spinning project, so I also really love that she's very experimental with her techniques and her colorways and even her spindles. She has an amazing collection of spindles that she photographs beautifully. Looking at another one of my favorite of her hand spuns, it's a hand spun called Erin's Yarn. She doesn't mention who the fiber comes from, but I just love her photography is amazing, and she shows it to you with these beautiful, beautiful spindles that she has. She's really good about, if you visit her blog, letting you know where fiber comes from. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. The other person that I wanted to kind of highlight as a crafter whose work I really appreciate is Frankie Brown. If you guys are on Ravelry, and I'm sorry this is so Ravelry specific, but it's kind of the hub for all of us knitters and crocheters out there. Rose Emily is the designer, crafter person behind Frankie Brown projects. And I just really, really love Rose Emily's sharing of her designs with people. As far as I know, she's got 143 projects up on Ravelry, or 143 patterns up on Ravelry, and every single one of them is free, as far as I can tell. I really like her work because, and again, I'm sorry, maybe I should have asked for permission before reading from you guys' Ravelry profiles, but to paraphrase, I really love Rose Emily's willingness to experiment, her admission of being someone who isn't necessarily a garment knitter. She's really someone who likes to play with shape and color and design and technique to find new and exciting ways to create patterns. So in terms of some of her designs that I really, really love, I wanted to share with you guys her button quilt, which looks really reminiscent of the beekeeper quilt. It's just a fun, visual, textural, and colorful modular pattern that I think is a lot of fun to look at and probably would be a lot of fun to make. Her 10-stitch series of patterns, she's got a 10-stitch scarf, which is a rectangular scarf. She's got a double 10-stitch blanket, I should say. She's got a triangular 10-stitch. She's got a circular 10-stitch pattern, and they're just really fun to construct, and I just love her use of color in them. And then the third set of patterns that I wanted to highlight from Frankie are all of her wonderful Advent garlands. Last year I kind of was on a mission to make the Advent garland and only got so far as creating about 7 of the mitten garland ornaments. But just the fact that she put that together and she released one ornament every single day for of the countdown to Christmas last year, I thought that was a really fun, interactive way to involve people with her designs. So I kind of just wanted to give her a shout out as well and encourage you guys to stop by her Ravelry page and check out her work. So thank you guys for tuning in for another quick episode of the podcast. It's been, I don't want to say it's been a challenge. It's been a welcome kind of challenge to, have a full day at work, come home having not really thought about what I was going to podcast about, which is probably really apparent, but still being really excited and motivated to share a quick bit of the things that inspire me craft-wise. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this really quick episode. Please, please, please definitely do stop by the Frankie Brown projects on Ravelry. You can do that by searching for Frankie Brown under patterns, or by looking for designers by Frankie Brown, or looking for people on Ravelry under Rose Emily. And you can find Weekend Knitter on, let's see, let me pull this up really quickly. You can find Weekend Knitter on weekendknitter.wordpress.com. You can also find her at weekendknitter.com, and she's also on Facebook, Tumblr, and Twitter. And I also think that she's participating in this round of the Knit and Crochet blog week. So please do stop by her blog and check out what her daily posts have been all about. In the meantime, I will leave you guys until tomorrow, and by this time, y'all can say it with me. If you can't craft it, you can stash it. Night.